everyone, and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today I am back with another collection to share with you from Eureka Crystal Beads. These are not a subscription, but they are collections that they put together every so often that include a wide range of high-quality types of beads, crystals, and findings in a cohesive and well-thought-out color palette, making it a very inspiring way to create new things just based on what you get simply from one package. I'll leave the link to this collection right down below the video. It'll take you right to it, and you can also view some of the collections that they still have available. Some collections last a little bit longer on their site, some are replenished over time, and some are only stocked for a limited basis, sometimes with the collections selling out right away. But just know that on the collection page on their website, they will give you a rundown of everything included in the collection. And if you want, you can even pick up these items separately outside of ordering the collection, although you do get a nice discount by ordering everything in this bundle. So the new theme for this month is called Cozy Winter. Let's go ahead and get into this package and check it out. Alright, so right away noticing something a little bit different. Looks like they have one of the snowflake wire forms included, along with our contents. So here's the inspiration photo. Behind the color palette and theme, definitely is a very warm and cozy site with the beautiful winter whites and some neutrals. And here's a peek at what's included before we get into it. So it looks like we're going to have a very classic and timeless selection of neutrals to take a look at. And as we go through it, we have a little inspiration note. It says, you slip on a pair of cozy socks, cuddle up on the sofa with a good book and a furry companion, clutching your favorite mug. You warm your insides with a delicious hot chocolate as the smell of cookies baking wafts through the house. So inside, we have the list of everything that we are about to take a look at, all the contents of what I'm sure is going to be another stunning collection. Starting with the seed beads, a list of the Japanese Toho brand and some Czech Charlottes. And then next we'll get into some of our Czech glass beads, followed by the crystals, and we have some of the brand new Elite Eureka crystals included. That's their very own and brand new brand of crystal beads, so we'll get to check those out together, along with their Krakowski crystal brand in their pearls and stones, followed by some strands of Chinese crystal rondelles, and a list of metallic components and findings. Just a quick note before we get into the contents, keep in mind, depending on when you're watching the video, that the contents could change slightly if they offer this collection again at a future date. That's one of the reasons why the SKU numbers are listed next to each of the items and not specifically the color name. It's possible those could vary slightly over time just depending on the availability of specific colors, but they will all, of course, follow the same palette and provide the same value as what you'll see today. Those SKU numbers, though, you can pop them right into the search bar on Eureka Crystal Beads website. So if you're curious as to what exactly a certain item is, that will take you right to the product page. So once again, here is our bundle, and I'm so excited to go through each one of these items with you up close. I'm going to get organized, then we'll take a look at everything one at a time. So first, in our seed bead section, we start out with 4 of the tubes of the Toho round seed beads in 4 different sizes. So we've got, starting from the left, 15 O's, then 11 O's, then 8 O's, then 6 O's, going from smallest to the larger round seed bead size. And you can see how they are each in a neutral tone that go together really well, and of course pair so well with other colors you may have from your stash, or combining these neutrals with other collections that they have to offer. Not to mention, of course, sticking with a neutral palette, which is beautiful and classic on its own. The 15 O's that I have are an opaque light beige, and then the 11 O's have more of a luster coating or a pearlescent shine, but still in that light beige tone, followed by the 8 O's in a antique gold or bronze metallic, And then we have some size 6 O's in that clean snow white. Next up is another 2.5-inch tube of Toho seed beads. These are in the triangle shape. These are the 11O size, and I will pour some in my hand so you can take a closer look. Now that they're out of the tube, you can see how beautiful they are with that golden lining and that sort of AB iridescent glossy finish that's over the top of the crystal glass. They have that triangular shape, which in particular looks really cool in herringbone seed bead ropes if you want to give that a try, just as one idea. Of course, you could use these in all sorts of different projects, and this is just one color of the triangles that Eureka Crystal Beads has. They've got a huge selection of all different types of seed beads on their website that I highly recommend. We follow that up with this package of the opaque light beige luster, at least that's the color that I received, in the Ico Precision Cylinder beads. So similar to the Miyuki Delicas, you could use these in place of those. And again, they are in that opaque glass with the light beige color, and they have a shiny and glossy coating. Our last item in the seed bead section is this bagged selection of Czech Charlotte 13O seed beads. There's 10 grams included in this package. Let me take these out so we can look at them outside of the bag. So here are a bunch of the Preciosa brand Czech glass Charlotte seed beads that are in between the size 11O and the 15O size, just to give you an idea if you're not as familiar. And with the Charlottes, they have a single cut placed on one part of the round, and that is to pick up the light in a really interesting way. So if you think of using these in embroidery projects or perhaps some fringe earrings, you'll get some beads that are positioned a little bit differently than others and provide a really subtle reflection or shimmery quality. Getting into our next section with the Czech glass beads, we have a 2.5-inch tube of the 2-hole Super Duo beads. And once again, I'll pour some of these in my hand so you can get a closer look. And here they are with that pearlescent, opaque, sort of metallic. I would describe these as a taupe colored selection that kind of crosses the border between the gray and the brownish tone. This providing another neutral to add to the palette of a lot of those light beiges. This, of course, working in with those very nicely. Our other 2-hole bead selection comes in this 2.5-inch tube of the Checkmates crescent beads in what looks to be a gorgeous shimmery white. Those are stunning. They have a golden dusting over the top that's really subtle, but adds so much extra pizzazz to these ordinarily white crescent beads. You can see why they're called their crescents with that shape that they have and the 2 holes running through the beads. I have a tutorial for these I did a while back. If you want to look up the classy crescent collar necklace, you can use these in something like that as one idea, but I really enjoy working with the crescent shape. And this is a color and finish combination I definitely do not have. Next in our Czech glass section, we have 2 strands of the fire polish faceted rounds, the smaller 3mm size in this creamy, translucent, white opalescent. That strand having 50 pieces included. And then we have the larger 6mm fire polish rounds with 25 pieces in the shimmery beige tone. Up next, we'll take a look at our Elite Eureka crystals. Again, those brand new crystal beads we get to check out that they're carrying now. And we've got 3 bags of different sizes of bicones, 3, 4, and 6mm. And we will have to take a closer look at these, of course. Let's start with the 3mm size. We have a total of 24 of these, and the quality looks great. I would compare these with Preciosa for sure. Very sparkly, uniform, have cleanly drilled holes. And the glass is not cloudy. It lets a lot of light through to make these really shimmer. And I'd say this color is probably like a root beer or chocolate brown. Adds a little bit of a darker shade to the palette and blends beautifully, of course, with the beiges and gold tones. Here's our selection of the 4mm size with 24 pieces in the bag. And with these, you can get an even better look at the quality because of the crystal clear nature of them. Just look how clear that crystal is. Another way you can tell the quality of these bicone beads, and it's great to see that Eureka is picking up their own house brand. It's a way you can get higher quality crystals like this at a more affordable cost. And here's a selection of the 6mm size with 20 pieces included, and this is their version, it looks like, of the white opal variety. These are just absolutely stunning. And with the larger size, the other way you can tell the quality is just by the weight and the feel of them in your hand, and they do have that denser weight that you feel with the Preciosa and higher quality crystals. So I would definitely say these are a great match for that brand. And then we get into the Krakowski crystal section, which is also their house brand of pearls and crystal stones that have been a great answer to the void that Swarovski had left in the beading world. These have a wonderful weight and feel. The finish is so satiny and smooth, and these are in a pale gold shade. And this is a strand of 100 pieces of 4mm Krakowski pearls. So definitely check out their other colors and sizes if you're looking for a higher quality pearl alternative. We also have some of these glittering crystal rivolis in the 12mm size. There's 2 pieces included. You can see the light dancing on these crystal rivolis so beautifully. A golden yellow mixed with that creamy white in the background. Then you get these hints of blue and purple that just glitter over the top. I've got one tipped on its side, and there you can see the back. And again, highly recommend the Krakowski crystal stones as well if you're looking for a lower cost but a higher quality alternative for your crystal stones. And then up next are 2 pieces of the 13 by 18mm Krakowski crystal teardrops. A couple more absolutely delicious teardrop Krakowski stones. These are the white opal variety, and look at that fire that comes through those golden shades as I move them just a little bit that reflect from that metallic backing through that creamy glass. And again, wonderful quality. There's a look at the back. Everything scratch-free and intact. And then here are the 3 varieties in the Chinese crystal section. We have these very long strands with approximately 170 pieces on each one of the 3 by 2mm sparkling rondelle beads. And what's great about these is they really do add so much shimmer and shine, and also provide you with a lot more quantity at the same time to work with. So not as high quality as, say, those bicone beads we took a look at, but still a really important option to have nonetheless. And in these 3 coordinating varieties, that shimmery snow white, the more transparent light gold, and then the opaque camel color with the additional luster finish. Well, that brings us to our final section, and that is the findings and metallic components. And I've taken these items out of the bags already. Looks like we've got a coordinating selection of gold toned findings for this collection, starting with this snowflake charm with the additional jump ring. This is an 11 by 14.5mm size. Very dainty. I like to use these elements sometimes as an embellishment next to a clasp, such as on a bracelet, to add some additional detail and individuality. We also have a pair of deer charms in a 30 by 18mm size with their smooth golden coating and lots of details on these deer. Also have a heavier weight than you might expect, so it adds to that feeling of quality. And then there's a look at the back, so they are also double-sided. Next is a selection of 10 tiara cast Hishi Kenyan spacers, adding a little slice of golden metallic that you can mix in with your other beads. They've also included 2 feet of Rolo chain in the coordinating light gold tone, closer to a 2.5 to 3 millimeter size, I would say, for this chain. And I love that they've included that. It's a very versatile material, whether you just want to add a beaded pendant to this, or if you like to wire wrap and you want to wire wrap beaded components. There's just so much you can do with something like that. Another very practical item is this package of crimp tubes. These are the 2 millimeter size. It's a pack of 100, and of course they match the tone of our findings. Also another handy item, we have 2 sets of ear wires with the ball detail. These are a 27 millimeter size. Very simple and delicate, and also in good shape. Also along those lines, we have 15 pieces of 21 gauge 2¼ inch head pins, and you could certainly use these for doing some wire wrapping if you wanted to onto that chain. They've included a good amount here to work with, not to mention if you wanted to use these to go along with those ear wires. Also is a set of magnetic column clasps. These are actually 2 different clasps, of course. They're just highly magnetic and they want to stick together. These are a 16 by 6 millimeter size, and the magnets are very strong. And then we wrap it up, of course, with those snowflake wire forms to round out the contents of the collection. So that wraps it up for the Cozy Winter collection. I think they did another stunning job, and I'm always excited to see these pink packages come in the mail, because you can always rely on the consistency and quality of what's included, not to mention the huge amount of inspiration that I know I get by looking at all these things together, all the types of things that you need to be able to combine in so many different ways to make some great looking handmade artwork. So once again, you can find the link to this collection right down below the video. That page will also have information as to the individual elements that are found in the collection that we just took a look at. Also be sure to check out the other collections that they have currently available, and check back periodically to see what they have in stock, because these are great to mix and match together or use by themselves, of course. And there's often projects to go along with the collections, some of which come from Eureka Crystal Beads, and hopefully I'll be returning with a tutorial from the contents that you see here. Quick reminder that this is not a subscription, so by picking one up, you're not going to start any kind of a monthly order. You can pick and choose any of the collections you want, and they also make great gifts for your beading friends, because let's face it, opening one of these up is like unwrapping a present in itself, I think. So obviously I enjoyed this package. I hope you did too. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Cozy Winter collection, or their collections in general, or anything else you'd like to say. Be sure to subscribe to my channel while you're here if you haven't already. I'd love to have you back. You can go ahead and give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and feel free to share the video wherever you like. That's all I have for now. I hope to see you all again real soon, and until next time, I want to wish you all a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy beading.